Yo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Indy Power Rankings for the week of July 29th, 2013. I'm Travis,
Vic.
and, this is our show. I'm going to go ahead and just get into the rankings for this week as we do every week. Again, it's based on win-loss records, strength of opponents, and their reputation. And before everybody tweets me and tells me about how this worker's better than another, it's not about work rate. I don't get into that. I don't have time for it. I can't watch every match every weekend. Neither can he, or neither can anybody else involved with this. So this is just strictly based on win loss, like the ESPN power rankings for NFL. I mean, there is some opinion in there, but this does eliminate a lot of the editorializing. And if you want some of that after we run down the list, we'll get into that. But anyway, at number 10 this week, Hyde Gotti, he called a shot, and well, he came through with it. He made a guarantee that he would win the Magnum Pro Wrestling title, and he also made a guarantee that he'd make the Indy Power Rankings. Both of those um, predictions came through. He defeated Jaden Drago and Tony Cortez to become the new Magnum Pro champion. He also picked up a win at MWA over Johnny Jackson on July 26th. At number 9 this week, returning to the Indy Power Rankings, is the CWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, Eric Royal, a guy who's rarely lost in 2013. And this weekend, he actually went to NCWA on July 27th, and he teamed with the Killbillies to defeat Team Messiah, or Team Messina, rather. So again, this is his third straight after losing his, as far as we know, first match this year. And then number 8 is Eddie Kingston. Whether he is or is not the Chikara Grand Champion still, he's made the Indy Power Rankings once again after a big victory over Rhino at AAW on July 27th. Um, a little more activity. You could see him get pushed up the rankings in the future. At number 7 this week is the FIP World Heavyweight Champion, John Davis. After 3 straight victories now, this weekend he went 2-0 at Dragon Gate USA in New York City with wins over Chuck Taylor in a bunkhouse match, and then a win over Drew Gulak, who's actually the number 1 contender in CZW, on July 28th. Number 6 this week, getting in for the very first time after competing in the U.S. For one of the few times this year, are the Forever Hooligans, Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov, the current IWA Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, became the new ROH World Tag Team Champions by defeating Red Dragon at the Providence TV taping on July 27th. They've won 2 straight now. They would be higher, but they've actually only won 5 out of the last 12, despite being the junior tag team champions in New Japan. And number 5 this week, after yet another victory, moving up 2 spots, is Cedric Alexander. He picked up another victory this weekend as he teamed with his CNC Wrestle Factory partner, Caprice Coleman, to defeat the hashtag Party Boys, Mike Seidel, and sorry if I butcher the name, Zuzu Maddox, at the July 27th ROH TV tapings. And then number 4, I'm happy to announce Drake Younger is back in action and moved up. He's the IWL Anarchy, SPW Extreme, and the APW Worldwide Internet Champion. He successfully defended the last title there versus Dylan Drake on July 27th in what was called a 21-minute classic. Then he wrestled for Pro Wrestling Revolution on July 28th and became their new number 1 contender to the junior heavyweight title by defeating Famous B, Persian Prince, Willie Mack, and El Ultimo Panda. Again, I said he was 2 weeks ago. He was ranked number 7. He took a week off, but he came back strong with a 2-0 weekend. Number 3 this week, coming out of nowhere to hit the Indy Power Rankings, is Tony Nese. Tony Nese had a 4-0 week, which is just awesome considering most shows, if you're lucky, you can get 3 bookings on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He actually worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He picked up a win on July 25th at NYWC over Shane Strickland, who's getting a lot of bookings these days. And then on July 26th, he teamed with Trent Beretta, and they were called Matt Maverick and Plasma. That's their name there. To defeat the Beaver Boys heading into Dragon Gate USA weekend. And then he beat Dragon Gate star Akira Tozawa, on July 27th. And then he wrapped up the weekend with a win over Uha Nation on July 28th. He may have just made his way up the Indy Power Rankings for good. We'll see what happens. He's actually got a spot in the Battle of LA in August, so look out for him there. Number 2 in the Indy Power Rankings this week are the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. The current PWG Tag Team Champions, Dragon Gate USA Open the United Gate Champions, and IWL Tag Team Champions, along with one other title that I'm not aware of the name of, successfully defended their Dragon Gate USA titles on 7/28 versus the Inner City Machine Guns of Rich Swann and Ricochet. Then they the night before, they actually were in a Gate to Heaven match, teaming with Ricochet as they defeated AR Fox, SEMA, and Tomahawk TT. They just missed out on number 1 this week. A little bit of inactivity actually is all that cost them that chance. Johnny Gargano now jumps into the number 1 this week. This is his 5th time at number 1 in the Indy Power Rankings. That ties the record held by Kevin Steen. He is the Open the Freedom Gate champion for Dragon Gate USA. His weekend consisted of wins over Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa twice. So to beat a guy like that twice was good enough to vault him from 5 to number 1 this week. He's got some big shows coming up. He's got a show this weekend. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and let Dick get into the honorable mentions for this week.
All right, first of all, we'll go with the names that were inactive and weren't eligible for the top 10. You got Jay Briscoe, Adam Thornstowe, who are both injured. Pieces of Hate as a team. ISIS FX. Did I get that right?
You got her name right.
Yeah. FX.
Back the channel.
Now get back to work. Team CK and Brian Cage. Anybody know what happened to Brian Cage? Let us know.
Yeah. Well, he actually did tell us that he tore a tricep. I forgot about that a few weeks ago, but he was wrestling with it.
You see what I'm dealing with?
Yeah.
So he's hurt too?
Yeah, but you knew this.
I forgot.
Yeah. So we forgot all about it.
All right. What the hell?
Go ahead.
First, we'll go with Carl Anderson, who has been 16-5 since May. And, I mean, that's a 76.1% winning percentage, which is pretty damn good. He doesn't wrestle over in the U.S. a lot. But if he keeps on working over here and he gets another win or two, I'm sure he'll move right in. Lennox Norris, he may be a relative unknown to a lot of you out there. He is the current D1W heavyweight champion. And this weekend he beat Jordan Cage at the Evolution Pro Show over in Clarksville. And then he also beat the legendary, one of our favorite guys, Tracy Smothers, at the D1W show over the weekend.
Hey, man, I lost to Lennox Norris.
Everybody must die.
Mass homicide.
Willie Rude, who is maybe the Indy Power Rankings #1 fan.
And one of our favorite wrestlers now.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's been sitting in a show or matches, and we've been watching them, and he's pretty awesome. The WCWF champion, he did win against Oliver John recently, and then he was in a tag match this weekend with Damian Grundy to defeat Nathan Brick and Dominic Simon.
It was a pretty good match, too.
Anthony Stone. Let's see, what has he done? He defeated Jason Blade at Lucky Pro Wrestling.
And then last week
he beat AR Fox and Beyond Wrestling.
Yeah, former #1.
So, I mean, keep on adding up the victories and he's bound to move up. One of my favorite guys, Christian Rose.
You can follow him at @BitterLunatic on Twitter. He's one of the funnier followers.
Please do. He went to a no contest, but he absolutely brutalized Mark Break at AEW.
He took it was either a barbed wire bat or a barbed wire board to his head. And despite the fact that he didn't win, I'm pretty sure he made his mark. Yeah,
Yes.
everybody knows who the hell Christian Rose is now.
Everybody hashtag Rose for TPI.
He needs to be in that tournament. I mean, at
Twitter,
this point,
Facebook.
I mean, he's a former number 3. He hasn't been announced for the TPI, but he is in the top 5 at the moment. So hopefully that happens.
Message Ian writing on Facebook. Let him know we want Rose for TPI. After that, you got Reed Bentley. He's a former number 6, and he tagged up with or who did
No, he tagged. It was with
it
Johnny
does
Six.
with Johnny Six. He didn't have it on there. That's one. But he beat Kyle Maverick and Jay Blight, Evolution Pro. Kevin Steen is back, even getting mentioned. He used to be a number 1, but he got a 6-man tag win. He teamed up with Elgin and Champa. I got your name right. Over the American Wolves and BJ Whitmer. And I mean, those 3, that's a hell of a win, no matter what. Amasis is your next guy. He lost his 8-man tag in Shikara. Right?
Yeah, it was the
No, I'm sorry.
Shikara.
Is that Dragon Gate USA? But it was with his team Shikara.
But he beat.
Who did he team up with?
He beat.
Sorry.
Oh well.
Oh, I'm sorry. But he did beat last week's number 9 Green Ant. Man, wrestling is fun. Oh my god, sorry, I'm sick. After that, you got Jake Durden. He won the Fist Combat Tournament. He beat Poodoo the Cow.
I'm sorry,
is that
man.
legit?
Yeah, that's who he beat.
He beat Poodoo the Cow in the first round.
I made up the notes, and I swear I didn't make this up.
And then Alexander Rudolph, David Vaughn, and Ricky Cruz in the second round in a 4-way, and then Billy McNeil in the finals. Was that for a title?
I think it was the Fist Combat title for DPW. I'm pretty sure there is a joint show or something like that.
Okay, what he said.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
And then after that, Papa Don.
Just this close now.
He's that close. After what appeared to be a week off, the ECW Heavyweight Champion defeated. I'll say ECW.
ECWA.
Defeated Ryan Rush in NYWC on 725. And his win streak is up to 3 in a row now.
Okay, well, this is the portion of the program where you've got your Indy Power Rankings, and if you got what you need, you can tune out, or you can listen to 2 guys talk a little bit about Indy wrestling. Despite the fact that neither one of us are apparently on our A game. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and he's sick, so I've got other things on my mind. However, for you wrestling fans who are looking for shows this weekend, we're going to go over a few. Obviously, most of you are probably not in Japan, or else you're not going to know what the hell I'm saying. But they've got show. They've got show. New Japan's got the G1 Climax tournament. They call all these tags. I have no idea why. They always do this, but they're not tags. And Shelton Benjamin's in it. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Carl Anderson. They've got several American guys. Lance Archer. Sorry, buddy, you're not getting in unless you prove yourself. So they're in that. Doug Williams is working in Preston City Wrestling on August 2nd. Bobby Lashley and John Morrison are in Mexico. And they've probably got some racist name for Bobby Lashley again, which is just horrible. Even though they don't mean to, it's just bad.
That's pretty funny.
But we want to give a quick shout out to Rockstar Pro Wrestling, who's got an iPay-per-view August 2nd, which is Friday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday, and they're going to crown their first ever Rockstar Pro champion. And it's a 6-pack challenge. They've got Aaron Williams, who's formerly of the Indy Power Rankings, Jake Christ, who's also been either close or in the Indy Power Rankings in the past, Ron Mathis, another one that's been close, Nate Wings, Matt Taylor, who's also been in, Benjamin Kimura. So it looks like a pretty decent show, and a lot of their shows look really good. So, if you guys aren't paying attention to them yet, I think it's about time. They're in Dayton, Ohio. They've got really good shows. And then some of the bigger names to look out for this weekend. The American Wolves are actually going to be in Canada, not just for ROH, for All-Star Weekend, but they're actually there. And, we poke fun, but the teams they're wrestling are Kicking and Stomping. That's the name of the team. So, Ivan Sullivan and Raisin, that's who they are. But Kevin Steen's on that show, too, wrestling Another scary man in Frankie the Mobster. I don't know if you've ever seen Frankie, but
I've
he's a
seen
scary
that.
man.
What show is that?
It's NSPW,
Never heard of it.
Weekend of Excellence,
I
in
like it.
Quebec City, Canada, which means there's a lot of people speaking French Canadian there.
I like
Um, then they have another show the next night, but ROH is running that night. ROH, this is a huge show. They've got they've got Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal in the second round of the ROH World Title Tournament, which to me should have never been taken away from Jay Briscoe, but that's neither here nor there. If you can't wrestle, I understand. Uh,
it. I think he can wrestle. Though.
it's hard to say.
He tells me he can.
That's what he says.
We talk about it all the time.
So first round, they've got Matt Taven versus Roderick Strong in that tournament. Mike Bennett versus B.J. Whitmer. Michael Elgin versus Paul London, which should be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
London's on his A game.
Yep. And well, he has been lately. You got to give him credit for that. Other than when Davey killed him, but that wasn't his fault. Although the match was good, apparently. Steen and Kendrick. That should be pretty good too. That's another if he's on his A game much, but Kendrick has been. He's been running his own promotion, Wrestling Pro Wrestling. That's the name of it. It's Kendrick, dude.
Yeah,
So
he's
Forever Hooligans defend the ROH World Tag Team titles versus the American Wolves. That should be the match of the night. But the question is, if the Wolves win the titles, how high in the Indy Power Rankings are they going to move up? Because they ain't exactly losing in tag team matches. Not in straight up tag team matches. I think their only match they lost in Mexico, depending on who you ask.
So we don't really know if they did it out there.
Yeah, it just depends on who you ask. But they
we're gonna go by what Davey says.
Yeah, but we'll just say this: in America,
they don't lose.
They only lost to Red Dragon since their comeback, but they were before the Hooligans beat them the only team that had beaten Red Dragon. So if they can beat the Forever Hooligans, well, they've probably got a good shot at moving up pretty high. Davey lost all over the weekend, and that's why he's gone. Also, Wrestling is Awesome has the first round of their championship tournament over the weekend. Frank O'Rourke, a.k.a. Biff Busick, is going to get a chance to redeem himself after the poor showings. Not poor showings, wrestling-wise, just losses.
I'm glad all these companies are finally getting champions.
Yeah. Well,
that's
they
cool,
have a
right?
banana title, and wrestling is fun. So
I don't know.
it's the citrus belt.
I think that was on my list.
I think that's what they called it. Yeah, you didn't bother.
Sorry.
But
I thought it was made.
Oh, by the way, that ROH show, they also have Young Bucks versus CNC Wrestle Factory versus Adrenaline Rush.
Right,
I'll go ahead and pick Adrenaline Rush and an upset on that. We'll see, though.
The Bucks don't lose.
At ROH,
They're going for the number one spot.
Well, Green Ant has a chance to redeem himself after at least an 0-2 weekend. I don't know. I think that's what it was. 0-2 over the weekend after being number 9. Tell you what, guys, as much as we like seeing you in the Indy Power Rankings, sometimes they're a curse. So, once you hit a winning streak, that losing streak can come just as fast.
Does Gargano wrestle this week?
Gargano does wrestle. And JT Dunn, who actually follows us on Twitter, good guy, good wrestler, he lost to Gargano at Beyond Wrestling Americanrana. Sorry, it's a mouthful. But he has a rematch against Gargano this weekend for I've got the name. I think it's. I have to think about it. You talk about something while I think.
I can assure you,
whenever I'm not looking
whenever a guy wrestles the number one guy in the Indy Power Rankings, all he wants to do is knock him out. That's like his main goal when he goes into the ring.
It's NEFW.
Right.
Cruel Summer 3. They're calling that the Beyond rematch. Beyond the rematch. It looks pretty awesome, their promo for it.
So, Gargano, you better be on your A game because I'm sure he's coming to knock you out.
And then, oddly enough, AR Fox is in a 3, 4, 5, 6-way versus Anthony Gangone. I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name because I haven't seen you wrestle. I apologize. You're in Massachusetts and I'm in Kentucky. AJ Cruz, Anthony Stone. So AR Fox has another shot at him in 6-man.
Yeah, they got beat him.
Smiley. We saw that movie. It's pretty crappy. But hopefully the wrestler's better.
Don't be making movies about yourself.
And a mystery 6 opponent. So Mike Mondo's on the show too. So is Chris Masters.
Wow.
2 guys that probably, unless they get a big push soon, won't be hitting the Indy Power Rankings like ever. But also on August 4th is the NWA Legends show in Charlotte, North Carolina. They've got Davey Richards versus Michael Elgin in a rematch of their Best in the World match and several other classics they've had. The Greek god Papadon has his chance to go ahead and get into the Indy Power Rankings. He's wrestling Micah Taylor there in a Race for the Ring tournament match. You remember the Race for the Ring, right? The Wrestling Cares? You don't. Need to keep up, sir.
I'm sorry.
Your memory lasts about a week, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
And then they've got a PWX showcase match. It's a tag team match. It's Caleb Conley and Cedric Alexander versus Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong. So you got a lot of Indy Power Rankings implications.
I like that.
And though Roderick Strong didn't get much of a shout out this week, he did go 2-2 at Noah, which is not the easiest thing to do. Had a lot of singles wins. Most of his losses were in tag teams, so did a good job in Noah. He's back to the States, or at least Canada, for one
Close
day.
enough, I guess.
Yeah. So, he's got a good opportunity to try to move up if he can beat Taven, which is TV champ, and win the tag team match over Caleb Conley and Cedric Alexander, who's the number 4. So, but I wanted to get into the people that had kind of fallen out last week. Last week, we had Ricochet at number 10, and he had an 0-2 weekend at Dragon Gate USA. He lost. Well, actually, no, he went 1-1. I apologize. He went 1-1, which wasn't good enough to keep him at number 10. He teamed with the Bucks to beat Fox, Tomahawk TT, and who's their partner? Who did I say?
BB Hulk.
What? I think you're making stuff up. That's not who it was.
SEMA.
Yeah, SEMA. There you go.
I knew who it was.
You can't say stuff like that.
Well, BB Hulk?
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
I know. I don't think he was there. He wasn't there.
I don't like it.
It's your fault somehow.
I'm going home. BB Hulk. You should always be on Dragon Gate shows.
Yeah, he should be on Twitter, too. I don't think he is.
He probably don't use it.
That's okay.
I'm not going any further.
That's all right. Most of us don't. Green Ant was the number 9. We already went 0-2 over the weekend. He just free fell. ISIS, FX.
Get back in business.
He had a week off. He was a busy man, working and doing whatever it is you Indy guys do.
He told us he was going to start being more active.
Yep. Last week, Cedric Alexander was number 7 with a win at ROH. He moved up to number 4. We had already talked about that.
I thought Drake Young was number 4.
I lied. He moved up to number 5. I told you, I got my mind on Florida.
I don't blame you.
It's all good. Number 6 last week was P-Pray. I don't think they were active this weekend. We didn't put them on the ineligible just because we never knew for sure. A lot of those California indies, it's a big state. I don't know. They could have wrestled on some little indie.
It is a big state. He's right.
Yeah, as far as I know, they didn't wrestle over the weekend. If I'm wrong, sorry. Somebody tweet us and tell us.
Tweet us, email us.
Email us at Indy, you can tweet us at Indy Power Ranking. No GS at the end, so it's INDYPOWERRANKIN. And then Johnny Gargano was number 5 last week. You saw what he did. He moved up to number 1 this week for the 5th time. Davey Richards was number 4. He lost in that 6-man and actually took the fall for ROH.
Did you tell him the ties for the most?
Todd Steen for.
You told him that
earlier when I went over there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send you on Facebook.
You can hashtag it.
I just want to make sure.
All right.
I'm hashtagging Rose for TVI.
Yeah, we talked about Rose already. He got an honorable mention. He only had 1 match this weekend. He was looking for hoe bags on Friday. I didn't make that up. That comes straight from him. And that's probably why you should follow him on Twitter.
At Bitter Lunatic.
Yeah. Jonathan Gresham was number 2. He just wasn't active enough this weekend. And then Prince Mustafa Ali was number 1. And he actually lost in a big upset to Polly Tomaselli. That's why you didn't hear his name this week. We kind of looked at like it was such a big upset, and it's nothing against Polly Tomaselli, but you haven't seen his name a lot in recent couple years or so. Unless I'm mistaken.
Like 04.
Yeah.
And he was branded back then.
Not 04, it was like 08.
Whatever. He was still branded back then.
But still. Yeah, you are right. But here's the thing. This weekend, possibly the biggest match, and one of the biggest matches in Indy Power Ranking history is at Dreamwave, as Christian Rose and Prince Mustafa Ali wrestle in a lumberjack match. It's a rematch of their epic 20-minute draw from the last Dreamwave show. You guys in the Chicago area need to get out to this. I'd be there. Ron Simmons is going to be there. Damn. So
Ron Simmons.
yeah, and they used the picture from like the '80s on their flyer,
That's awesome.
and it's amazing.
Where's that at?
I think it's LaSalle, Illinois.
Greenwood?
Yeah.
Hey, Reed Bentley's making his debut for AEW.
Is he?
Yes.
And Ali's there too.
At Nick Meadow told me that.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned it.
Yep. Ali is at AEW also, and he's also at Vanguard on Sunday, where Trip Cassidy's going to be.
So Ali's got 3 shows this weekend?
Yeah.
He's
got a good chance.
He's making his push back to number 1.
He's got to beat Rose.
Oh, he will.
Therein lies the problem. Oh, he's going to beat Rose?
I think so.
That's going to be interesting.
Always the man.
Yeah, he is, but so's Rose.
Rose for TPI. Hashtag it.
Like I said, and they retweeted former number 1 versus former number 3. It's going to be pretty awesome. Then you said Bentley's going to be at AEW. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, at Nick Meadow.
Yeah. August 8th, he's going to be, and that's next week, so we can get onto that later. But he'll be at Evolution Pro.
We can talk about it since we'll be there.
That's true. Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be ringing announcing.
I guess I'll probably be live tweeting it.
Yep.
I would assume since he's going to be ringing announcing, making his debut.
Yeah, if I was able to live tweet and ring announce, I wouldn't be very good at what I'm doing. So
you screw one of the two up.
Or both. Probably both. I have a hard enough time doing either one.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be.
And 2 days later, we'll be at Pro Wrestling Freedom.
Yep, at Pro Wrestling Freedom in London, Kentucky. I hear they have Dairy Queen.
That's what I hear, so I'm pretty excited.
Dairy Queen should sponsor us and then bring me Blizzards. Because I want Blizzard right
That'd be amazing. Somebody make that happen. Yeah. John, what's his name? Bullard.
What? Bullard.
Bullard. Hook us up. Jimmy, hook us up.
Yep.
Dairy Queen sponsor, bro.
Yep.
They're going to have Isaiah versus Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that.
And Jimmy was putting over Menace to me earlier, not to speak in wrestling terms.
He's a Block of D's Hayabusa.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Where'd you see him?
Season of He's wrestled season of in 05.
I haven't got to see him. Jimmy had asked me if I'd seen him. I hadn't.
I'll tell you, I don't want to talk bad about the guy. But, I mean, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And him versus Isaiah should be...
The Hood Ninja versus the other one.
Versus, I'm not going to say what. The Block of D's Assassin, I think is what he goes by.
Oh, I mean... That's his name.
He dresses like Hayabusa.
Oh, I saw that in the picture, but
right.
Anyway, everybody who's around Kentucky shows suck. This one won't. So if you're anywhere near here, get out and watch the show. They're trying to get rid of that stigma. By the way, also Kyle Matthews and Sean Schultz. Kyle Matthews was in the Indy Power Rankings before. He wrestles all over Georgia. He's been in ROH. He's their champion. So... like I said, he was in my 911 wrestling article.
He was.
I think I had him at number 2 as the top 10 indie guys you need to look out for, and that's the short title.
Also, Jordan Cage is there, and I keep getting told by everybody in the world that he's like the best guy going to Kentucky right now. So yeah. I'm pretty excited to see him.
So, yeah, you guys are going to want to get out to that one. But anyway, back to this week.
Oh, yeah.
The Dreamwave show, I think everybody needs to get out to in the Midwest. That's going to be one, like I said, that you're going to want to get out to. They've finally gotten the card out. Reed Bentley's actually wrestling Nick Brubaker there, and Bentley was running his mouth to him on Twitter. It was pretty amusing.
Reed Bentley's a good dude. I like him.
They've got actually, Lindsay Dorado's got a Dreamwave title match and a best 2 out of 3 falls match, which I think this match is going to be pretty awesome. Jason Hades versus Lindsay Dorado. And we remember Hades from 2008 or so, Sellersburg, Indiana, IWA shows, etc. I remember him and Prince Mustafa Ali tore down the house, or as much as you can outside. CWF Mid-Atlantic has a show this weekend. Eric Royal, he's actually wrestling Chet Sterling in the first round of their Weaver Cup. So, if he can beat Sterling, he's probably got a good chance to move up again in the Indy Power Rankings unless something crazy happens this weekend, which it's a good weekend of shows. It's nothing like last weekend, though. Last weekend was ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't expect a repeat of that, but it should be good. And with that being said, we've run our mouth enough, I think. So, if you want to follow Vic, he can actually tweet better than he can talk right now, probably.
Yeah. I'm a hell of a tweeter. At Vic Von Erich, VSEVONERICH, Vic Von Erich.
And you can follow me, I don't know why you'd want to, at Phenomenal, PHENOMENALTLD, on Twitter. And then you could like us on Facebook. Please do. At facebook.com. Is it backslash or forward slash? I guess it's a backslash, isn't it?
That way.
Yeah, that way.
That way.
That way. Indy Power Rankings. So just look up the Indy Power Rankings on Facebook.
And
give
of
us a
course,
like.
Facebook or Twitter, Indy Power Ranking.
Yep. No GS because Twitter's just not good enough for us.
Apparently.
But
No
and then obviously you already know about our YouTube channel, but it's Indy PR.
Yes. I'm gonna change that. I don't like it. I don't know how it happened. I didn't do it.
And one last shout out before we go. I want to give out, props to some of our people who have helped us get where we are. First, I want to say, Jack Thriller, thank you for everything you've sent in.
Thank
you for the
us.
retweets. Yeah, he's up there with Willie Rude for biggest fans of the Indy Power Rankings.
Y'all need to fight it. Maybe we can get a book somewhere in the Midwest.
And possibly Hyde Gotti.
You think we'll get Willie Rude out here?
I don't know. I wanted the battle of the Willies. Willie Rude and Willie Mack. And then somebody was racist in California.
Yeah,
but they weren't really, because I'm sure they knew them, but it was funny.
Yes.
The Suburban Commandos were wanting to take on the Willies.
Yeah.
So if somebody books the Suburban Commandos versus the Willies, that's going to be a good time.
We'll fly out for it.
Willie Mack and Willie Rude. I mean, that just seems like it goes together.
I like it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Jack Thriller, what's up, dude? Appreciate all the love. Our buddies at Real Side Media, follow them on Twitter at Real Side Media.
Next Monday, they're going to have Gresham. It's Monday, let's see, the
4th, 5th?
The 5th. They're going to have Jonathan Gresham and everyone's favorite, Jerry Wiseman, on the show.
Be on there?
Apparently.
Do I have to support it?
No.
Okay, good.
But you can support the show.
I will.
Okay.
I love Gresham.
And also, Evolution Pro Wrestling Freedom. Anything else I'm missing? The forums, TNA Fan Forum, ROH World.
PW Ponderings.
Definitely PW Ponderings. They give us a forum to put my articles up. This week, I put out an article. I called it, was it the Return of IWA Mid-South? I don't even remember the name of it. But it's about the return of IWA Mid-South. That's the point. The title's not important, although it was kind of good. The Midwest Outlaws, something about that.
I didn't see it.
But anyway, go check out PW Ponderings. You'll see the article. It's on their front page.
911 Wrestling.
911 Wrestling, they put out a magazine every month. This month we've got 10 questions with last week's number 2, Jonathan Gresham. I think that's about it. If I'm missing you, sorry. Tweet me. You can cuss me out over it, and that's cool.
Tweet me too. Sort out.
One last thing, IndyPowerRankings@gmail.com. So, with that being said, this is Travis.
Vic.
And we're signing off.